Ma'am, it's such a pleasure to be with you and with all of you this morning. My name is Lyndsey Akers, and I am the 2026 Air Force Spouse of the Year. Isabel and I have been
Congratulations.
honored. Thank you so much for the work we do in our advocacy, our businesses, our community. And, we were in DC a couple of weeks ago, and we had the opportunity to go to the Pentagon, and we got to do a
Mm.
lot of really, really incredible networking opportunities. We said hi to General Kane. We saw the Secretary of the Navy. We popped in the
Yeah,
tank. But
I love it.
at the end, we, tired shoes, tired feet, and all, we went to the Pentagon Memorial, the 9/11 Memorial. And it was just one of those opportunities that really makes you pause
Hmm.
and take a moment, and it renews your zest and enthusiasm for carrying forth with telling military stories and shining a light on military families and service members and the people
Yes.
who have chosen to serve. And it's been really fascinating being one of the last questions of this program, because I've gotten to hear so much of your perspective and viewpoints that I share and appreciate. Military spouses having an outward lens, the importance of storytelling, and not waiting to be asked to fit into an opportunity or to solve a problem. So, with all of that being said, I think I firmly believe that military spouses are uniquely positioned to be connectors in our
Hmm.
community, to bridge gaps, to solve problems. So as we look at the civilian community today and the importance of telling military connected stories, and again being voices for our community, do you have any advice for military spouses who can be that bridge or be connectors in their community?
And no, it's great. I'm also smiling because we call my husband the connector. And so my husband also served in the military. He was a spouse and I was a spouse. So we both, kind of both ways. But I'll tell you, one of the things that I was really surprised when I transitioned from serving in the military to leading in corporate America um, was how little corporate America really understands our military and how little they understand the amount of leadership and responsibility that we give our young soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, and the same with their spouses, and how resilient and how agile and how flexible, right, the military family is and the children. And so I think there is an incredible opportunity to share our military, to share what we do, to share the great stories and how highly educated we are, right? How the skill sets are so transportable and they can move into any type of profession that's out there. Because really, the tenets of leadership transcends what the profession is. And so I think it's really important when you look at the small percentage of Americans that serve, and then you realize how vast America is. There's a lot of storytelling that we need to be doing for people to understand our military. I would say that I also appreciate it, though, in corporate America, that they appreciate our military. So people appreciate our military. They just aren't maybe as educated because they haven't had the opportunity. And if they've never grown up around someone, or if they've only grown up around that one person who was, then that's all they know is that one person, right? It's perspective. So I think the more we can share diverse stories and experiences, invite them out to community events, partner from the grassroots level. What are the organizations that are there? Invite them to be part of the military community. People want to be engaged. I think people want to give back. A lot of times they just don't know how and they don't know how to connect. So I would say be more proactive in reaching out because I think you'll find that they really want to.
I really appreciate that response. I think so often as military spouses or connectors, we're trying to get our community at the events where we can engage and unite in person beyond the screens. But the advice to bring in the corporate community, corporate partners and sponsors, and allow them to see us for what we are and soft skills and values and skill sets that we provide is really fascinating. And if I can conclude oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am, were you going to add
No, no, and
something?
you triggered one other thing. Don't ever underestimate the power of a simple little certificate that is signed
Mm,
by a military leader that thanks them for their service, that thanks them for supporting the military. They they frame that in their offices. Many people you'll open up an opportunity for conversation, which then leads to story. And they may have a grandmother, they may have an uncle that served, they may have wanted to serve, but they didn't. And so it provides that connection that I think then makes us stronger because we can find something that we can relate to.
absolutely. Those conversation starters for sure.
Yes,
And if I can conclude, ma'am,
sure.
I'm a public relations and communications professional. I work with a lot of veteran and military spouse business owners to tell their stories, and yours has been told on incredible platforms, the
Mm,
PBS concert and People Magazine,
humbling. Yes.
and well beyond. So beyond those interpretations or the filters of the media or what have you, I'm curious, what do you hope people take away from your story of service?
Yeah, thank you. I hope that my story generates the desire for someone to ask someone else what their story was. I hope it really does this cascade of conversations and more storytelling and more appreciation, that there are layers and layers and layers of stories over generations for this great nation. I think it's how we're going to heal. I think it's how we strengthen ourselves. I think it's how we increase our understanding of who we are and what it means to be an American. So I hope that's what happens is it starts a conversation that doesn't stop. And if I could end with one thing, because this was another powerful opportunity, I ran into two of the survivors in the after party of that evening. And one of them was Brian Birdwell, who was so severely burned and had 52 surgeries to date. He is doing beautiful, and he just got appointed in a political position within the Pentagon. And so you think about someone who on that day nobody thought he was going to live to 52 surgeries to he's thriving. That's the other gift that that day gave by telling the story. I got united with two of the survivors from that day that just enriched my life even more. So I wanted to share that.
Thank you. The legacy of those stories is so incredibly important, and being able to quit to again bridge those gaps between our community and the civilian world is something I'm passionate about. So, ma'am, thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Appreciate you both.